Hello friends, welcome back to our kitchen. So today we're making chickpea yogurt, and the main ingredients is chickpeas. And so I've picked the chickpeas and now I've put them in the basin, and I like to wash the chickpeas before I soak. So I've washed them and now I'm putting the water to allow them to soak. So I'll put this to soak for 4 hours, and as you can see here, this is after 4 hours of soaking. It takes quite a short time to soak. So what I'm going to separate this soaking water. This soaking water is going to be our starter. There's some which have not soaked, so I'll have to pick them. So now I'm separating the soaking water. This is what I will use as my starter, as my prebiotic or my lactobacillus. The people who will go to the shops or the chemists to get the lactobacillus for starters, but I'm going to use this water. So I've set aside a whole cup. This one I'll set aside, I'll use it. I'll show you when you're going to use it. For the beans, I'm going to measure using this cup. There's some which are not yet fully soaked, so I'm going to pick the ones that are soaked and measure and put into the blender. So for each cup of chickpeas, I'm going to use 2 cups of water to blend. So you do this for the rest of your chickpeas. For every cup of chickpeas, you use 2 cups of water to blend. You can begin with 1 cup, and then if you don't have a high power blender like mine, you return the pulp and you add the rest of the water that is remaining. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm one-handed, so I'm going to blend it aside, and then I'll come back after blending to sieve. So here I'm having a sieve and also a cheese net or a cheesecloth, and I'm sieving. This will enable no particle to pass through. As you can see, the pulp is not yet well ground, and I'm going to return it to the blender with the rest of the water and allow it to blend. So here we are. I did blend the rest and I added it to the sufuria, and now I have brought it to a boil. It boils and it may pour if you're not careful, so you also need to stir so that it does not stick in the bottom. So you do this. I did this for around 8 to 10 minutes. I returned the heat to low. Allow it to cook a little. Then it boils. I stir it. It boils, I stir it. That's what I've been doing for close to 10 minutes. And I'm thinking this is now good to go. I'll allow this to cool. You want it not so cold and not so hot, just warm enough for the prebiotic to do its work. So what you're doing, we are culturing, we are not fermenting. There's a difference between culturing and fermenting, as you can see there. So here it is cool. We are now pouring to my plastic bowl. You can use your pot. The reason I'm not using the sufuria is because sufuria is metallic and it is not good to culture or anything to do with prebiotics and probiotics. Don't do it using a metallic container. So I have poured as you have seen there, I have poured my starter, the water that I had used to soak, and I've stirred. So I'm going to cover this and leave it for 6 hours minimum. You can do more than that, but I'm just doing 6 hours minimum. So I'll cover this and put it in my oven, not cooking, but I'm just putting it in a warm place. So now here is after the 6 hours. Actually, this is after 8 hours. This is how it's looking. It's not bitter. It is frothy, and it has, let me say, it has curded. Yes, it has curded on its own using the prebiotic. So this is how the yogurt looks like. Yeah, and I like it. It tastes nice. What I'm just going to do, I'm going to add some few things to give it a beautiful taste. I'm selecting the thick parts of the yogurt, and that is what I'm going to put in my jug, and I'm going to blend it with some other ingredients just to improve the taste. You can always use things like rosemary, you can use blueberries, you can use mangoes, avocados, whatever fruits you can to sweeten. But for today, I'm going to use the following ingredients. So I'm going to use banana, I'm going to use jaggery, and I'm going to do some granola and nuts and seeds. And just for some seasoning, I'm going to use cardamom and a little bit of ginger. So here I've just selected a small portion of the yogurt. I've added the banana inside, and next I'm going to add my cardamom. Yeah, I love cardamom very much. It is so mild and it has a very little taste. So now I'm adding my jaggery, and lastly I'm going to add my nuts and just some small amount of granola. I've done that. I love oats. Oats makes something to be thick, and it absorbs a lot of water and makes the mixture to be thick. So yeah, and here we go. Here is our yogurt. It is tasty, it is sweet. I've just garnished it with some of the seeds and nuts and the raisins that were in there. So if you like this recipe, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you think. There's a time I made it, and I did it with rosemary, and I made something called a parfait. Yeah, there was some nuts and some fruits there and the yogurt. Bye.